It's Esper, the jeans low head, high arms crossed kid with the black tee.
Welcome back, you guys, to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to give you guys a little story time. Today's story is going to be the time that I lied to break up a couple. Now, before you guys hate me and decide I'm a snake ass bitch, hear me out and pay attention because this might get a little confusing. I'm going to try to put pictures here or something of the characters so that you guys, I feel like that's what I need to do. I'm gonna put pictures of the characters here, and we're gonna have two main characters. The main character being Musty, and I'll tell you guys why I'm calling him Musty, and then our other main character, Musty's girlfriend, Sarah. This happened a few years ago, so I'm gonna try to remember, to give you guys as much detail as possible, because it's so many little things that come into this whole story. So at the time, I was dating this guy named Tom. And that's how I actually met Musty, because Tom and Musty were long-time friends. Tom doesn't really play much into the story at all, actually. Because of Tom is how I met Musty. I'm calling him Musty because Musty smelled like... Let me give you guys this visual, and I'll never forget it because I've never forgotten the scent. I can Have you guys ever left clothes in the washer and then it dried up and it gave off this musty, nasty smell? That is exactly what Musty smelled like, and probably still smells like. That is what he smelled like the whole time I knew him and was around him. I don't know what the fuck. And I know that he had a shower in his house. Well, in his apartment, because we would go to his apartment. I would see there's a shower in here. But his room smelled musty, his car smelled musty, his clothes smelled musty. When Tom would go around him and then come hang out with me, he smelled musty. And I'm like, what? What the fuck? I actually got to know Musty pretty well. And not just from the things that Tom would tell me. I felt like at the time before this actual story about me trying to break up him and Sarah, because this is what the story is about, that I tried to break up Sarah and Musty with a lie. Before this story, Musty was this kind of person that he had a very snake-like behavior. And you know those people, those snake-ass people? Musty was a snake-ass person. And he could actually be cool at times, even though he had the musty smell. He could be cool at times. He was kind of funny to hang around with sometimes. But just as general and as an overall person, he was a snake. When I first met Musty, Musty had a kid with another girl, and we're gonna name her Jenny. She doesn't really play a big part in the story. But yeah, so when I first met him, he was dating a girl named Jenny, and they had a kid already. Tom was a lot older than me, so Musty was a lot older than me. Yeah, Musty, he was just... it's crazy. The whole time I've ever known Musty, he's not cute. I feel like his personality wasn't really attractive either, so I don't know how he got girls. But I mean, my dad says, todos tienen sus gustos, there's someone for everyone, and I guess there was a lot of everyone's for Musty. Despite the musty smell, regardless if Musty was in a relationship or not, Musty could not keep his dick in his pants. So there's a story I have to tell you guys before this whole ordeal happened. I want to say months before, maybe even a year before, Musty was dating Sarah, okay? And at the time, I didn't know Sarah yet. I knew about Sarah, but I didn't personally know her. So Tom has two friends, Musty, and he has another friend named Goofy. It's on this side. We have, Musty and Sarah. And on this side, we're going to have Goofy and I think it's the sister or the friend, best friend or something like that of Sarah. So Goofy was dating Daisy, and Daisy was a best friend or sister of Sarah. Okay, so you guys see how this is going? So we have Musty and Sarah, and Musty is best friends with Goofy, And then we have Sarah and Daisy and Sarah are like best friends or sisters or something like that. I can't remember. I know they're either best friends or they're sisters. I've already told you guys that Musty could not keep his dick in his pants. So I don't know how that whole ordeal happened. But Musty was fucking around on Sarah. And somehow that got back to Daisy. And Daisy, you know, was like going to Goofy and like, Goofy, what the fuck? You know, that's like my best friend or sister or whatever the fuck she is. Goofy was like stuck between a rock and a hard place. I guess he didn't back up Musty with his lies or what the fuck. So there goes Daisy and she runs back to Sarah and tells Sarah that Musty is fucking around on her. So what happens next? Well, Musty, being the reasonable person that Musty is, decides that he wants to fight Goofy. Physically fight Goofy. Like, what the fuck has Goofy done in the story? So, I remember this day because Tom was texting me and he was like, you won't guess what is going on. And I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, Musty is about to fight Goofy. And I'm like, why the fuck's he gonna fight Goofy? It was because Musty got caught slipping. He got caught being a hoe. They fought. Like, they physically fought. And that ended their friendship. You know, I guess it really depends the way that you see it. But I feel like that really showed a lot about Musty. That Musty's the kind of person that will turn on you like that. Instead of him... You know, first of all, he shouldn't have been fucking around on Sarah. But, you know, that's the kind of person Musty was. And instead of, like, owning up to it or whatever, he got mad and fought Goofy over it. And I wasn't there to witness the fight. From what Tom had told me, the fight was pretty bad. That's how Musty and Goofy's relationship ended. And Tom, he was kind of like in the middle, but not really. Tom was just like there to witness what the fuck happened, and he continued to be friends with both of them, even though Musty and Goofy would never come around each other anymore. Fast forward, I don't know if it was weeks, I don't know if it was months. I'm telling you guys, this shit was so long ago. Goofy and Daisy break up, so they're no longer a thing, and Goofy doesn't come into the story after that. That's it. So this happened, and then Goofy's out of the picture, basically. Sarah and Musty had a kid. And, you know, so keep in mind, Musty already has a kid with Jenny, and that's like, I don't know how old the kid is by now. And then Sarah and Musty have a kid. So Musty and Sarah were living together, and they had been living together for, like, they moved in right away. Why? I'm not sure. Musty being Tom's friend, we would go around them whenever Musty and Tom would want to hang out. So that's how I got to know Sarah. Sarah, she was, you know, for Musty, being Musty and looking what he looked like, I always felt like Sarah was way too good for him. I felt like she was really nice, and look-wise, she was really pretty. Went way too pretty for Musty. I mean, Tom and I, he didn't see it like that, but I was on that, no. Sarah is pretty, and she's way too pretty for Musty. And with that being that, Musty continued to be Musty. Being Tom's girlfriend, Tom would tell me the stuff that, you know, Musty would tell him or Musty would be doing. So I, like, knew what the fuck, but I was like, you know what, like, that doesn't affect me. You know, Musty not being able to keep his dick in his pants, Musty being Musty, that does not affect me. I am rarely around Musty. So we started hanging out, and that's how I started to get to know Sarah. So she was basically here on her own, and we started talking and stuff, and she didn't really have any friends, so we started to get to talking, and right away Sarah would like tell me, like, we started to talk, and if Musty had told her something about Tom, or if Tom was doing something or whatever, she would like tell me. And she's like, yeah, like, I'm telling you, I hope that if Musty's doing something, you could tell me, and this and that. And I was like, I think the fuck not. I am the kind of person that, and this story reinforces that, I like to mind my own business about a lot of shit. I might be knowing a lot of shit. I might be hearing a lot of shit. I might be seeing a lot of shit. I might stumble upon a lot of shit. But I'm gonna mind my business. If it does not affect me, like, I don't know how to explain. If it doesn't personally affect me, if it is not my relationship, I don't really see the need on why I should be involved. And there's just been, you know, like, there's just been so many things that have reinforced this idea in me. And even like with my friend, like my best friends, whenever they ask me for advice and shit, I give them my advice. But you know, I always end it with, but it's really up to you. And my friends Comment down below if you guys are watching this shit. Go ahead and tell these YouTube watchers what kind of person I am. I will give you advice, but I always tell you it's up to you, because at the end of the day, any decision that you make, whatever the outcome is, you're the one that has to live with it, not me. So I can tell you, you know, so I'm not going to be like, you need to leave so-and-so person, or you need to be with so-and-so person, because at the end of the day, it's not me that has to leave this person or be with this person or whatever, you know? It's who, like, we all live our own lives, and every choice that we make affects us. Like, learned over the years to be more and more like that person, where if it doesn't affect me personally, I feel like I shouldn't really be involved. And that doesn't, you know, it's like with some moral things, I'm like, nah, a bitch gotta say something. When it comes to relationships and stuff, I feel like it's not my place, and it's not my relationship to be involved. And 9 out of 10 times, I have learned that you can tell somebody, like, if they're getting cheated on, if they're getting played, whatever the fact may be, and you're always gonna be the bad one. You know, that it's not like they're just gonna leave this person over whatever you say or whatever you saw or whatever. I mean, that's just the way that it is. I'm actually telling you guys this story because Nikki Glamour said a story like this. And I'll link it down below so you guys could watch it. And I was like, why the fuck does that remind me of some shit that I kind of went through? And this is a story. Sarah would tell me, like, stuff about Tom. And, you know, I was never really surprised. You know what kind of person you're dating. And that's, you know, real talk. You know what kind of person you're dating. So if somebody else comes to you and says, hey, I heard that so-and-so, I seen that so-and-so, whatever, you know what kind of person you're dating. I mean, you know what kind of person you're with. Sometimes they'll surprise you. I ain't gonna lie, sometimes they'll surprise you. But, you know, I knew what kind of person I was with, so I'm like, well, this does not surprise me. I wouldn't really confront Tom about it. I'm like, you know what, it is what it is. This is, okay, I'm going off track. This is not even what the story about. But yeah, so Sarah would tell me stuff about Tom, and I guess she felt like because she told me stuff about Tom, I should tell her stuff about Musty. But I was like, nah, no, I'm not gonna do that. You guys see what the fuck happened with Musty and Goofy when, you know, when Daisy said something that he was really doing. You know, so I'm like, fuck that, I'm not gonna get involved. And then, like, she still, I mean, she stayed with him. So I'm like, I'm not gonna get into any drama over some shit that she's gonna stay with him. And what the fuck is it to me if she stays with him or not? And, like, that ain't my business. It's not my life. And it's like, it's just gonna be drama. Like, why should I get involved in that? So, you know, she felt like we are friends, and whenever Musty does something, I should tell her, and whenever Tom does something, she'll tell me, which she would. I wouldn't really tell her anything. I'd be like, well, I don't know what the fuck Musty be doing. Like, I fucking don't know. And it wasn't me covering for him. Fuck that. It was just that I'm not gonna get involved with some drama that I know what the outcome's always gonna be. A few weeks had passed. Like I said, at this time, Musty and Sarah already had a kid together. There was this one time, and I remember it so specifically because I was like, damn, Musty no tiene vergüenza for shit. Because he knew that me and Sarah were quote-unquote friends. He was looking for Tom one time. So he came to my house, and he was like, is Tom here? And I was like, no, Tom is not here. And he was like on the phone, and he was like, hold on, there was a phone call. And he answered, and I could hear that it was Jenny, which is the first person he had a baby with. And he was talking to Jenny, and he was flirting with Jenny. And he was just, you know what I mean, he would have to go to Jenny's house all the time to drop off his kid. So him and Jenny still kind of had like a relationship for the kid, supposedly. And, you know, like I'm saying, Musty couldn't keep his dick in his pants. So, you know, I heard all the stuff he was telling Jenny, and I was like, you know what? That ain't none of my business. Tom isn't here, so I'll see you around, Musty. I never told Sarah because I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. You guys might be like, bitch, you breaking girl code. Like, no the fuck I'm not. No the fuck I'm not. Because, like I said, 9 out of 10 times, you're gonna be the bad one if you get involved. Like, if she fucking wanted to leave him, I thought that the first time that you tell any girl, hey, your boyfriend is fucking around, I really thought it's gonna be the first time they hear that shit. So, you know, it's up to them if they want to stay or not. And I was like, I already know what the fuck the outcome's gonna be. I'm not gonna get involved. I don't know. I wasn't breaking girl code. There is no girl code in this story because you guys will see what happens. So this is where this happens. This is where I lied to try to break up Musty and Sarah. There was this one day that I was driving with my little brother. And we were having a good day. We were just driving, having a good time, talking and shit. And I get a call. It was Sarah. So I answered. And I was like, hello. And Sarah told me, she was really upset, you guys. And she was telling me, she was like,
Claudia, he's doing it again. I was going through his...
I think it was Facebook or MySpace. Or text. I don't know. It was through some messages. And she caught him talking to this girl that she had told me beforehand. She had caught him talking to several times. I think we're going to call her Carol. Yeah, I guess Sarah had caught him talking several times to Carol inappropriately. So when she calls me, she was like,
I'm so fucking upset. I cannot believe this shit. He's doing this again.
So I'm like, well, like, what do you need? Like, do you want me to pick you up? Do you need a ride somewhere? Because Sarah didn't have a car, but I did. So I'm like, well, what do you need? Like, do you need a ride somewhere? And she was like,
yes, like, I'm so fucking done. I'm so upset with him. Like, I'm gonna wake his ass up and I'm gonna tell him.
And he worked, I think, yeah, he worked overnight. So that's why it was like during the day and shit. And, you know, he was sleeping and shit. So I was like, okay, dude, well, if you need a ride, you know, just let me know and I'll pick you up. Just call me. So that was that. And I remember my little brother just looked over at me and he was like, oh, Claudia. And I was like, what? He was like, oh, Claudia. And we knew that it was going to be problems because my little brother, he knew Musty too. So we knew what kind of person Musty was. So, you know, we're driving, having a good time. And then I get a call from Sarah's phone again. So I answer and I'm like, hello, Sarah, what's going on? And whose voice do I hear on the other line? It's Musty. And Musty was like,
Why, that's fucked up. Why are you telling Sarah that I'm talking to other girls?
and I was like, what? Excuse me? Musty?
Yeah, that's fucked up, Claudia. I always see you like a sister, and then you're over here telling Sarah that I'm fucking around on her, and I'm talking to other girls, and this and that. What have I ever done to you, Claudia? I've always been there for you.
And I'm like, what? Musty? Are you fucking kidding me? You guys, I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, Musty, what the fuck are you talking about? And, you know, Musty being the victim, you guys, because that's what it's always been. Musty's a fucking victim. You know, so it's been like me fucking telling lies to Sarah about whatever the fuck. And, you know, like when Goofy and Musty fought, it was Goofy being the fucking villain and then Musty was the victim. And it's happening all over again, you guys. So, you know, like Musty's he's so upset, you guys, and oh my god, like he cannot believe that I would do this shit to him. You know, like how could I, that he sees like a sister, like since when the fuck you see me like a sister, first of all, and second of all, what the fuck you talking about? And I'm like, so I was like, hold the fuck on. And I was like, Musty, what the fuck are you talking about? Sarah called me and told me that you were fucking around on her. So when the fuck is it now me fucking, when the fuck did I have time to call Sarah? I'm having a good ass day with my little brother. How the fuck, when did I find time to call Sarah and make up this lie, which clearly wasn't a lie, so she got your ass, that you were fucking around on her? What? So I'm like, well, what the fuck are you talking about, Musty? Sarah is the one that called me and told me that you were fucking around on her. She fucking seen the messages with her own eyes. Why are you saying, like, what the fuck? Do you hear yourself? Do you hear yourself? And what the fuck you're saying? You guys, I was like, oh my god. I was like, I'm so fucking done. I am so fucking done. And I'm like, no. And, you know, like, Musty continued being the victim and shit. And he's like,
That's so fucked up, Claudia. I cannot believe that you're telling Sarah all of these lies. We've seen you as a friend.
all this stupid shit. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I hung up. I didn't ever hear from Sarah again. So, you know, and I know that they stayed together after that. And I'm like, really, Sarah? So, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck happened? Did he put it into your head that I told you a lie? That he was fucking around? Like, well, what the fuck do I gain from that? What? Am I dating Musty? Am I dating Sarah? What the fuck do I gain from saying this lie? Oh my god, you guys. And I was like, I'm so done. And I told Tom, I was like, I'm so done with them. Like, I'm not gonna be friends with Sarah's ass either. And I didn't, and I've never talked to her ever since. And I know she texted me a few months after that, and I didn't reply because I'm like, no, you got me fucked up. You know, first of all, that's why I never told her anything that Musty was doing, because I always had this feeling, you know. And like I say, you know what kind of person Musty is, and I knew that he was always gonna be the victim regardless of what the fuck he was. Like, she could catch him in the act of fucking another girl, and I know he would find a way to twist it, snake his way out of it. So that's why I was like, no. And I never got involved with it, and I never told Sarah anything. And you know what, I mean, he continued to do a lot of shit, but I was like, you know what, that ain't none of my business. That is not my relationship. That with that. And yeah, so that's the time that, according to Musty, I lied to try to break up him and his girlfriend. So, you know, there's that story. And honestly, at the end of the day, I mean, Sarah's relationship with Musty, if they're still together, God knows what the fuck be going on with them. I don't know. I don't talk to either one of them. And then even after I had hung up, my little brother had even told me, he was like, Claudia, what the fuck have I told you? Just mind your business, bitch. And I was like, Louis, I did. I fucking didn't even say shit. Because I would tell him the shit that Tom would tell me that Musty was doing and shit. You know, so he like knew about it. But I was like, I never told her anything. I didn't feel the need to. And honestly, if I would have, then what would have happened? I mean, I got blamed for this shit. And all I did was fucking answer the phone and hear what the fuck Musty was doing. And I still got blamed for that shit. Can you believe that? Like, moral of the story is mind your business. That's the moral of the story. And I know you guys probably know some people like that. I've never been that person. I've never, you know, people tell me shit. I'm like, did I just get played again? did I just get played again? You know, I'm not the kind of person to like blame others for shit that whoever I'm dating is doing. You know, like, nah. It's the person that I'm dating, is their responsibility to be faithful to me. It's their responsibility to not play my ass. So, you know, I'm like, if another bitch comes to me and is like, you know what, bitch, you got played again, I'm gonna be like, God damn, again. You know, I'm not gonna like take it out on them or like take it out on whoever the fuck is telling me anything. I mean, yeah, there's people that will try to lie to fuck up your relationship for whatever reason, but this was not the time. And I'm not that type of bitch. No good deed goes unpunished. Even answering the phone. All I did was answer the phone. That's literally all I did, was answer the phone, and I fucking got blamed for this shit. Now you guys see why I fuck gonna say shit. I knew it in my gut. The whole time I knew them, I knew it in my gut. I was like, bitch, stay the fuck out of it. Don't you ever get involved with that shit. If you guys have any stories, fucking let me know. I want to hear this shit. I want to know that I'm not the only bitch that gets blamed for something that I didn't do. You know, so if you have your own Musty and Sarah story, comment down below. I would love to read that shit. Because I'm telling you guys, like, I cannot. Like, Sarah, you're too good for him. I can't believe she believed him. Who knows what the fuck story he told. Knowing him, he probably told her, Claudia put that shit in your head that I was fucking around. It was probably Claudia who put these messages in my phone. Knowing Musty, I swear to you guys. But yeah, let me know how you guys like this story time. Like I said, I'm not that type of bitch to be trying to break up people. Like, but according to Musty, I am. Yeah, let me know how you guys like this story. If you guys want more story times, let me know. And I actually know knew someone that was a lot like Musty. A lot like Musty. So if you guys want to hear stories about the other person that I knew was like Musty, let me know. Yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Give this video a like, share it with your people so they know to mind their own fucking business. Follow me on my Instagram and on my Twitter. And that's it. Alright, I'll see you guys. Bye.